Galabia, with his distinctive intimidating face with 3 eyes, started to approach me. I stood there helpless, staring at him. Just then, Huser rushed over and opened a talisman from his neck and made me wear it. Galabia stopped in his tracks. Huser, panting, said, How could you do this, Galab? How could you deceive someone like me for so long? Why couldn't I understand this? Galabia, still smiling, said in a deep voice, Huser, you couldn't even understand your own wife. You'll tell me how. Your wife, Jaifa, was my only beloved sister. You killed her, Huser. How could you become so cruel? Huser seemed to drop from the sky. In a faltering voice, he said, Jaifa was your sister-in-law. What are you saying? Jaifa was just an ordinary person. Galabia, in one swift motion, came in front of Huser and slapped him hard. Then he walked towards me. Taking me by the arm, he said, Jaifa was a princess. She was my sister. Despite being a princess, she used to live a very simple life. She left your royal palace in hopes of finding a little love. And what did you do? You killed her. I've been waiting for this day. Because of that talisman around your neck, I couldn't do anything to you all this time. Today, you handed it over to Afrin yourself. With this, he pushed Huser away again. Huser stood up slowly and turned towards me, staring, and said, Give me back that talisman, Afrin. Quickly. Otherwise, both of us will die. Now I slowly eased my frightened face into a natural smile. Seeing this, Huser became furious and said, Why are you smiling? If you and Galab become one, what will happen to this game? Galabia sweetly smiled at me and said, Thank you, my queen. I also smiled and left a little earlier. When I was returning from that boy's place earlier, I said to Galabia, Brother, I am not afraid of you. I love you. So, I want to dispel the doubts in my mind about you. I am a little suspicious about you and your family. Some strange things were said even at your house. Aren't you going to marry a man being a prince yourself? Tell me. Who are you guys? Where are you taking me? Seems like you are behind all this. If there's a plan to kill me, at least I want answers to these questions before dying, ****. Galabia started speaking after a moment of silence. Afrin, then listen. I am not like ordinary people like you. I am a creature of life. Hearing this, I froze in place. I covered my face with my hands and sat down on the ground. Is this what I am hearing? Someone who loves me like a madman. Someone I trust blindly. Someone I promise to spend my whole life with isn't a human being. It's as if I can't believe my own ears. I burst into tears. Galabia slowly came and sat in front of me. Placing a hand on my shoulder, he said, I won't harm you, Afrin. My love for you is not a lie. Then listen to me. We are fundamentally creatures with 3 eyes. My father is the chief of all lies. We have been residing on this earth for thousands of years, as humans, among humans. We prey only on wicked and evil people. No one can ever know our true identity, not even a king or a sage. We have crafted ourselves in such a way that we can easily blend in with humans. And Habitra is our Holy One. But she has gone astray and is working against my father. Disturbing humans in various ways is her job. That's why my father warned her several times, but she didn't listen. But for the past few years, Habitra has started a new devilry. It's about deceiving loved ones as dead people and taking their souls into her own. We couldn't stop her. But she stopped herself and came to you. She couldn't control your soul for some reason. Galabia paused after saying this. I wiped away my tears and said, Why can't she control me then? I'm just an ordinary person like everyone else. Then why? Galabia began again, I don't know the answer to that. But let me tell you a secret. To do all these devilries, Habitra seeks Huser's help. In return, she has given Huser a lot of wealth. Huser is indirectly involved with Habitra. He has been pretending to be an enemy of Habitra all this time so that you trust him. He didn't release your brother yesterday, instead, he handed over his soul to Habitra. And what he's telling you about focusing is not to capture Habitra, but to imprison your soul through black magic. Upon hearing this, I was shocked. What are you saying? Even Huser is collaborating with Habitra. Then why did you take me to her? Why did you want to trap me in her clutches willingly? Galabia stood up and moved a little away, then said, I owe Huser a long-standing debt, Afrin. Huser loved my sister Jaifa and, falling into Habitra's trap, got her killed. My sister was... What? Huser married your sister and got her killed? Why would he do such a thing? My sister loved him deeply despite my father's strict prohibition. Even though marrying outside our religion is completely forbidden. But Huser trapped my sister in such a way that she forgot about this prohibition. She didn't know what was on Huser's mind. When Habitra wanted to start this foul play, it was initially told to everyone that a prince or princess would be the first condition. That's when Habitra made a deal with Huser. She would take the princess Jaifa in her hand, and in return, she would get whatever she wanted. Huser agreed to this condition. And my foolish sister fell into Huser's trap. Habitra used my sister for her own foul purposes. Upon hearing this, Galabia sighed heavily. I couldn't comprehend what to say. A brother describing his sister's death is harder than anything else. My heart broke hearing Galabia's story. But why did you take me to her, knowing all this? Did you think I haven't tried to kill her? I have tried many times. But there's a powerful amulet around her neck. As long as that amulet is on her neck, no creature has the power to do anything to her. I've built a good relationship with her in human form just in hopes of an opportunity. If I take human form, no one can understand my true power. So Huser also can't understand who I really am. So what do we do now? If Huser is involved in all this, it won't be right for us to go there. Huser wants me to go there and offer my soul to them. That's why all this arrangement. But I still don't understand why you took me to Huser. What's your plan? Habitra had said that even Satan cannot defeat Satan. At that moment, I understood that Habitra knows me. That means Huser will soon recognize me too. Huser will think I'm here to kill you. So, Huser will come to save you because they want your soul. If I take your life, they will never get that soul. When Huser comes, the talisman around his neck will ensure your survival. I'll be waiting for this opportunity. When the talisman opens, it'll be Huser's last moment. I need your help in this, Afrin. I will reveal my true form in front of you. You will be terrified. I'll act as if I'm advancing to kill you. That's when Huser will make that mistake. Please help me a little. Give me the chance to punish my sister's killer. I thought for a moment and said, all right, Galabia. I'll help you with this. But at the end of this task, you'll have to help me. We need to find out why they can't control my soul. It'll require taking my soul through dark magic, not the usual way. Please help me with this. Galabia smiled and said, of course, I will. Back to the present. Galabia approached Huser in a terrifying form. With 2 fingers, he lifted Huser's eyes. When Huser attempted to scream, his tongue was cut, and he was brought forward in a choking manner. Seeing this scene, my body trembled. I know Galabia won't harm me. But still, witnessing all this was unimaginable. Blood poured from Huser's mouth. Galabia held his head and tore it from his neck, saying, this is for my beloved sister. With a sudden noise, a woman in white robes descended from above our house. I ran in fear and stood behind Galabia. It was the terrifying old lady with the eerie face. Her skull also had Galabia's third eye. Galabia said, Habitra, you've finally come. You understand your partner's worth now. I've made you understand the value of my sister's death. You are equally involved in my sister's death. Your time will come very soon. If you want to live, go to my father, ask for forgiveness, and surrender yourself. Habitra chuckled and said, you did well by killing him. His desires and greed were increasing day by day. If he didn't have the talisman with him, I would have killed him myself. And I forgot about my surrender. I am beyond their control now. That's why I forgot about being killed. I am much stronger now. I made a deal with Afrin's father to return his wife in exchange for their children's souls. That fool made a deal with me. Even if he manages to control Adil's soul, he can't control Afrin's. And that's what has stopped me for now. Now, if I can't control Afrin's soul, then nobody's soul will inhabit my body. So let Afrin's soul do as it wishes. Hand Afrin over to me. Galabia became angry and said, Afrin's soul is far away. You won't even find a strand of her hair. If you can, then come and get her. Habitra gestured with her hand, creating several humanoid figures made of smoke that lunged towards us. Galabia reassured me, don't be afraid. I am here. Saying this, he sent a burst of fire towards those figures. One by one, they ignited and dispersed in the wind. Now, Habitra advanced towards us and attacked Galabia. A fierce battle ensued between the two. I stood at a distance. Habitra was more powerful than Galabia because she had captured an angel's soul. Galabia was struggling to defend himself. Habitra managed to throw Galabia aside and approached him with aggression. At that moment, Galabia came and pushed her away with force. Habitra stumbled back and started shrieking like a madwoman. Enraged, she began to approach me in a terrifying manner. That's when Galabia came and pushed her away with a single shove, sending her flying far away. Habitra, screaming like a wildcat, continued to shriek and wail as she crawled away on all fours, eventually disappearing into the distance. Galabia fell to the ground and is not moving. He is very hurt. I ran to him and said, Galabia, what happened? Please don't close your eyes. You will be fine. You promised me that you will always be with me. So please don't leave me alone. I won't be able to live without you. And I will never misbehave with you again. I won't scold you. Please get up, Bia. Even though you are dead, I love you. I love you more than you love me. At that moment, Galabia opened one eye and said, listen again. I understood that he was pretending to lie there to hear words of love from my mouth. I chuckled a little and gently tapped his chest as I said, you are very naughty. You don't love me. You used me to take revenge on your sister. Galabia then got up and said, no, Afrin. That's not true. I have always been with you since you were born. My grandfather had told me before he died about you. He held my hand and said, this girl won't be an ordinary girl. One day, she will face great danger. But she won't even know what's happening with her. So I want you to be her shadow. Always protect her from danger. Before knowing more about you, my grandfather passed away. So I have been following his words since childhood. But the danger of my sister's death and the danger towards you, I never knew that would collide into one. Then, where did Habitra go screaming like that? Will she die? No, no. She won't die so easily. That talisman has weakened her temporarily. So she has left. But she will come back. She won't stop until she finds your soul. So, what will happen now? I will stay with you. We need to find out why my soul is so special. Let's go then, with me. We need to start our work before Habitra comes back. You still love me, don't you, Galabia? Galabia chuckled and said, touching my grandfather's white beard, I am telling you, I love you very much. But you are alive. If your father's decision about me ever changes, if you don't accept me, what will happen then? Galabia came close to my ear and said, then you will stand in front of my father like a hero from a Bengali movie and say, Mr. Chowdhury, I can be poor but I have never eaten rice with pondifish. I will never forget your son. If you give him the cane, I will bear it. But don't ask me to forget your son. With that, Galabia started walking away while laughing. I also laughed and said, wow, you really are a crazy person.